somebody said Guzu made a post.
Little bit of an update for you guys here as well. I just got my first armor seed this morning, man.
Oh.
I was so freaking happy about that stuff, dude. Oh my gosh, I got my first armor seed. I couldn't believe it. I actually couldn't freaking believe it. I lost my mind. I've been farming some stuff. I'll log in
The offline gamer.
and show you guys. I'll log in and show you guys real fast. I was so excited, dude. Hold on. I'll give you guys an update real fast here.
Let's see it, Guzu. What have you been doing, buddy?
So this is my character, obviously. You can see my miscellaneous fully jacked up. I actually also hit level 1800 the other night as well. So that's
Hold on. Let me see Guzu's account. Okay. 89 strength, 82 attack, 89 hit points. Honestly, base 70s on the account. Besides rune crafting and fletching and sailing. But no one has level 70 sailing anyways. I don't. How is his fishing the same level as mine? What the heck? All right, his fire making is higher than mine. What the hell? I mean, his stats are pretty decent for being gone as long as he's been.
But I've been farming quite a bit of corrupted gauntlet. Just chill and having fun with it. My current scoreboard is 78 completions and 42 deaths. So I've been...
Okay, that's a lot of deaths. But you die a lot when you're learning. So, you know, I'm not judging him. I think that that's pretty good. That's hard. Corrupted Gauntlet is hard to learn. It's expected to have some deaths, guys. Like, don't try to hold someone's deaths in the gauntlet against them and use it as ammo to flex that you didn't die that many times. It's not important to like let people know that they've died more than you in the gauntlet. So that's not something that I would do. And I just don't think that you guys should be doing that. I think that Guzu's been doing a good job here and he's doing totally fine. Yeah. And that's great. That's great to see him gaming it up offline.
Been getting some pretty nice progress and learning a bit more about the corrupted gauntlet. I have been recording my journey with RuneScape that I've been doing off stream. As you guys know, I haven't streamed it. I haven't really made any content on RuneScape in a while, but everything I've been doing, I've been recording it. So I'm preparing up and I'm writing up a script for a video about the journey of all the gauntlet stuff and what I've been getting up to and what my plans are and stuff like that. So hopefully one day if I get that BOFA, we'll be having a big update video on everything. But yeah, I've been farming this. It's been really great. I've been upkeeping my miscellanea. I've been doing my Tears of Gothics. And I've been doing farming contracts and stuff like that. Also, I changed up my prayers. I've actually been like trying to genuinely like learn to get better as well the game. So I'm still not using True Tile, but I've also changed up my prayers a bit here. So I got like a new layout for my prayers and stuff that I came up with. And it's been pretty cool. So yeah, still upkeeping the RuneScape stuff. Leagues come out in April. Gonna do some fun stuff in April, but
Crystal seed drop and getting stuck in the same room for 2 hours in Stone Temple. G's.
Yo, Vero, thank you for the 7 months, dude. Pretty much the same as mine.
Sounds like, you know, I heard some good things there. It's kind of cool. He's been recording his progress offline, storing it all up to make a video of what he's been doing for the past few months. You know, we really like the Guzu, Savix, Showbeck, Soda Poppins, Zaryus. These guys that came over and tried RuneScape and they're all taking a break right now. Eventually they'll come back and they'll start playing again, especially when there's a new quest. I think that Guzu is probably most excited about coming back to do the Blood Moon Rises quest. That's actually my favorite quest line in the game, is the Sins of the Father quest line. So a Grandmaster version of Sins of the Father, I imagine, can only be equally or more epic than the Sins of the Father quest line. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure he is too. And that's happening sometime in like maybe July timeline, right before RuneFest. So maybe he's going to be playing leagues. That's the rumor right now. I haven't heard him say anything. Does he talk any more about that? Should we continue watching, or is that pretty much the update from people who have already seen the Guzu stream? He did say he would play leagues. Okay. Well, if he said it, I'm going to hold him to it, even though I haven't heard him say it yet. But if you say that he said it, then I'm holding you accountable for what he said. And if he doesn't play, then I will be banning you potentially for a foreseeable few days from the chat. So Guzu is now responsible for your chat experience. If he doesn't play, you know what happens. I'm just kidding. But I hope Guzu does play. Ban him now. Guys, why would I do that? Leagues isn't even here yet. I was hanging out with Savix last night in Triumphant at the game night. We didn't think Savix was going to show up because he was so locked in playing World of Warcraft. I think he had a 12-hour session yesterday of doing keys, trying to get prepared for the raid. And we ended up talking for about 4 hours. We talked about RuneScape, talked about Only Fangs, talked about Classic Plus, all the things that we want, what we think it's going to be, and when it's all going to happen. And it was just a cool conversation. I wish we recorded it because I felt like it would have made a really great podcast. Anytime the streamers get together, just sit around the living room and talk about streaming culture and gaming and where it's all headed and what we think about it. And it's just a really good time. It's just a really good time. So at about 1 a.m. in the morning, we left Triumphant's house last night. And after a long session of just kind of talking it out, it was fun, man. What was the clip about Guzu? This is Guzu's stream from 10 hours ago where he was showing that he got a crystal armor seed and he's been kind of playing a little bit of RuneScape off stream. Is Savix still playing RuneScape? I have not heard of Savix logging in off of stream, making any progress on his RuneScape account at all. He's been pretty dialed into World of Warcraft, raiding with Zaryu, Moose, and Ampi. They have a heroic guild now, and Ampi's pretty addicted to retail WoW now. He's kind of locked into it, so they're taking it a bit more serious than I think. Like, Ampi's a big classic. He's like the classic raid leader, and he hasn't played retail WoW in like 7 years, and he's playing it. He's loving it. So he's like all in, trying to get them to do Mythic and get them to be serious about the raiding and all that. And he's loving it. Savix is loving it. Zar's loving it, but they're not. Zaryu does not like Mythic prog. He doesn't think it's good stream content. So I personally don't think it's good stream content. I love the Mythic raid, but I don't really like to stream it because you're just like, number one, there's like two problems with streaming Mythic raiding. Number one, it's 3 to 4 hours of you guys wiping on the same boss over and over. And then number two, you are locked in for 4 hours straight where you can only look at chat like in between a pull. And sometimes you only have 10 seconds of downtime in between a pull and retail. And number three, when you are losing 100% of the time, which is most of the case, on most days, you're not really getting a kill in Mythic prog. The vibes are always, it's tough to keep the vibes up. They're not always down, but it's tough to keep the vibes good. Like a good vibe in a Mythic plus or like a Mythic raiding environment. Like essentially the harder the content, the lower the vibes in a way. It's not a one-to-one, but most of the time that's how it goes. So it's tough to keep really good vibes when you guys are losing all the time because eventually you have to point fingers at people and be like, hey, you're doing this wrong. You're doing this wrong. And that is just like, it's tough to keep the vibes when you have to point people out that are doing things wrong. And it's a tough thing to stream, in my opinion, and keep it interesting. You know what I mean? The people who get viewers on Mythic are the raid leaders. Nobody watches raiders unless it's world first. Yeah, and I would say that even like the world first raiders, they don't have that many viewers. There's one world first raider who gets a ton of viewers, and that's Gingy. He's like the only exception. Even like all the other raiders, they don't get like that many views for like the one time that like they're going to be doing a massive event. Like they're doing the biggest thing in the world, right? Going for the world first, right? If all of them should have like 10K viewers, it's tough, you know? I'm Fired Up gets loads. Well, he doesn't get loads in comparison to Max, the raid leader. Gingy's the exception because he actually gets more views than Scribe, because he's like the big dog. He's like the popular streamer. You know what I mean? So I would say he's the exception. Whereas, yeah, Fired Up would be like maybe second in the line because he's just like known as one of the GOATs, right? But Max will always get the raid leaders get a lot of the views. If you are in the right guild, the vibes can be just fine. Hundreds of pulls in. Yeah, that's the tough thing, right? Is finding the right guild. But I guarantee you, at any point in a mythic progression, like at some point, you're probably gonna have to remove somebody if they're messing up a lot, and then that's tough for the vibes too. Anyways, the point is, mythic plus or mythic streaming. Zaryu says it's not great content, and Zaryu is a great streamer, and I think he knows what good content is after doing it for 10 years and being one of the most successful streamers on the WoW platform. I think he knows what good content is, and he doesn't want to do it for that reason. So in my review, my speculation, my take is that that's true. And from doing it myself as well. And that's why a lot of people don't really want to stream mythic rating. I rated the shit out of mythic before I joined Frontier on hardcore. He's right. It just is what it is. And I love hard content. I love pushing it with the boys. It's just better. It's just better when you're not streaming it. In general, I think that rating in general is a little bit more fun when everyone in the chat is having fun. And it's just too hard of content. And it's a bit of a stressful environment. So there was a bug today. Many HCIM skillers fell victim to other players luring monsters to safe zones. Should there be a rollback? Did anybody in the chat lose their hardcore today to being a victim to other players luring monsters to safe zones? Every hardcore death is a good death. Huh, savagery. All right, we don't... I guess no. There was a bug, but I don't know about any hardcores dying. I'm trying to imagine what luring monsters to a safe zone means and how they're getting it to leash onto other hardcores. And why are people trying to grief hardcores in the first place? I didn't really think there was some type of leash mechanic, because people used to do this all the time in hardcore WoW. They would like grab a devil sword from Ungoro, run it 3 zones over, feign death, scatter shot, feign death, and then it would just attack the closest person. It was bugged this morning. You could pull mobs to the GE. Oh, snap. There were lizard shamans inside of the farming guild. Normally, the leash range for like any mob in RuneScape, from my observation, has been about 15 tiles or 20 tiles. So you're saying that the leash range was like infinite and you could pull them unlimited distance? Ooh. Yo, Z-Trip, thank you very much for that prime, bro. Good to see you, man. Okay. I think that they should give people their characters back. I think that they should do it back. I think that they should roll that back then. Because if you're AF, or if you're doing anything on a hardcore, like inside of the farming guild, and you die to a lizard shaman inside the farming guild or at the GE, never AFK, dude, what if you weren't AFK? What if you were just using the bank and then you died? You think you should lose 1,000 hours because you were using the bank and you got one shot? I think they should get their characters back. They don't return hardcores for bugs. Wow. Are you guys saying that if you're playing a hardcore, you have to outplay every bug that might possibly happen and outplay every person who might try to be griefing you at any time that's going to be abusing a bug, and you should always have your head on a swivel, be ready to TP, log out, or crystal at every second that you're online? You should be highly tapped in, locked in, looking at the screen, making sure nobody is bug abusing and ever trying to kill you, because if you don't, then it's your fault, not Jagex's, for having a unlimited leash range bug that happens once in a lifetime. Okay. I think everybody's pretty much on board with that. That it's not Jagex's fault, even though it is, but it's not their fault that you died. It's their fault that the bug happened, but it's not their fault that somebody used the bug to kill you. And that's the disconnect. It's their fault, but nothing will happen. Blizzard said that. Blizzard said they would never revive hardcores. And guess what? They did. They did. On like 2 occasions now, I think they've revived hardcores. Once on a Russian server and once for Only Fangs. I mean, Only Fangs got DDoSed in front of like 250,000 viewers. The company was gonna catch a lot of flack, I think, for it. I was in Savix's group and we were about to enter Black Temple and do the first boss. Soda's group started 30 minutes before, or an hour before us, or 30 minutes before us, and they were on the double drakes, Ebon Rock, and right as they pulled, the server got DDoSed, and every single person on the server was running in place, and they slowly all just started dying. Some of them just eventually DC'd and got ported out of the game. So at least half of the raid died, maybe 20, 30 people died out of 40. And 10 people just got extremely lucky that DC'd first. They just got, basically, if you're AFK for long enough or DC'd for like over a minute, then your character will just disappear. Like it will just vanish or log out, or I don't know. It just kind of, yeah, it kind of just disappears after you've been DC'd for longer than a minute. So people that DC'd first, that lived longer than a minute, their characters got saved, but the other 30 characters died because they got DDoSed. And like a week later, they announced that due to the recent, anyone who died in that like 5-minute DDoS window, they were going to revive all of those characters. Because of there was like a large number of characters that died in the DDoS window. And it was really sad because, dude, so many people were crying. Like, it was very emotional because Soda Poppin announced that this was the end of Only Fangs. The DDoS, essentially killed the guild. It killed 35 players or something like that. And it was like super sad because everyone had worked so hard for the past 3 months to get their character ready to earn a spot in the raid. And then they were doing the raid. They finally got to do the raid. And this is the peak content. The goal of Only Fangs was to kill Blackwing Lair. Everything was all leading up to this. And then DDoS attack, dead. So it's hard to describe, it's hard to describe emotion. Might think it's kind of cringe if you're crying over a video game, but it was way more than that. It was like a core, like being in OnlyFangs, being a part of that community, that movement is like, it's really, really a once in a lifetime experience. And you kind of just, people, once you're in that final raid, you're really appreciating that moment. You're super nervous. A lot of people have never done Blackwing Lair before. Soda Poppin and Ompi were like raid leading people through it. And it was a really hype event, and it was all coming to like this big climactic close. And it was going to be our final sin towards doing the one thing we had prepared for. When you prepare for something for 3 months straight, it's a lot of hype and anticipation building up to that moment, and then it's just DDoS dead. And when you die in hardcore and it's not your fault, I mean, it's just a terrible feeling. It's just such a terrible feeling, because all you're thinking about is like, oh my god, for the past 3 months I've been working every single day of my life towards building this character towards this moment, and that moment gets taken away from you, and it's just heartbreaking. Did you cry? I didn't lose my character, so no. I don't think I cried. I was still alive. They ended up giving back those people back their characters, and then I raided with Savix's group next week. I was the main tank, and we cleared all the bosses. So that was how it ended, but it was a bittersweet ending. It wasn't the ending that we wanted,